What's good, everyone? It's cjbeatz. We're back at it again today. Today I'm going to show you guys 4 plugins that can get your hi-hats from sounding like this to sounding like that.
Oh, you crazy.
Before we get started, let me ask you guys to please hit that subscribe button and that bell so this way you're notified anytime I drop some new content. All right, let's get into this thing. All right, I opened up a beat project that I was working on, and I pulled up the first plugin that I have on this hi-hat, and this is cjbeatz Effectrix. So cjbeatz is the name of the company that makes it. The name of the plugin is called Effectrix. Right off the bat, you have a ton of presets that you can browse through, which is awesome. And what I like to do, though, is not use any presets, because for every new beat that I make that I use Effectrix on, I sort of come up with my own preset for each beat. So this plugin has some awesome features. Number one, what I like to do is set my length to 1/8. So this way I can put the effect on an 8-bar loop and, I get the most out of it. Let me turn off Effectrix so you could hear the difference. This is the beat and hi-hat without Effectrix on. Just a simple hi-hat pattern. Let me turn it on. So you could already see there's portions that are reversed, which I used right here. So if you come over to reverse, and then I usually use the quarter reverse, and I set my time to 1/2 T. That's a triplet. And then I also drop a phaser on this entire hi-hat loop. It just gives it more of a sheen, and I usually go with the gentle phaser, and then I bring my mix down to about 28%. So on the ones, I always have a reverb come in. That just gives the hi-hat some more dynamics and some more range. They also have this cool swing feature at the top, which gives your hi-hats a bit of a more human feel to them. It sort of delays the hi-hat a little bit so that it doesn't always hit on the one. Just got to find the right balance. Effectrix also has this trigger by MIDI feature. So if you turn this on, you could actually map your MIDI keyboard to go through different sections. So you could build a bunch of sections inside of Effectrix. So you don't have to have the same, the same effect applied all the time. You could switch in between them using automation, for example. What I like using the most is the X loop, the reverse, the phaser, the delay, and the reverb for my hi-hats. And you don't have to use Effectrix just for hi-hats. It has a lot of features that can help you out, and you could use them on loops, you could use them on other drum patterns. The possibilities are really endless. Each one of these effects has different parameters also at the bottom that you could dial into and, make it sound the way you want it to sound. One of the parameters that I change a lot is the mix parameter, and this is available on all of them. And this mix parameter basically blends together the original signal that's coming from the hi-hat with the affected signal. And you could sort of blend those two together using the mix knob. The master mix knob is there to basically blend all of the effects into your hi-hat. So you can individually mix them or blend them using the mix knob on each of the effects, or you could blend them together using the master mix knob. Let me pause right here. Listen, I get a ton of DMs every day from you guys asking me about production tips and tricks, logic questions, and I really have limited time to get back to all of you. But that's now changed with the MuseSchool app. The MuseSchool app gives you direct access to your favorite creators, and you could text or video message them for a nominal fee. I highly recommend you hit me up on that. I'll put a link in the description so you can go check it out. Next up is Luperator. Luperator is much like Effectrix. You can add reverse sections, you can add filters, etc., but it sounds different and it has its own features. It's got a ton of presets that you could also browse, or you could do it like me and always come up with your own preset, and then you could actually save the preset if you want. So once you've built it, you hit the save button up here and you can name it and save it what you like. The two sections that I use the most in Luperator are the loop section as well as the effects 2 section. The loop section allows you to add different types of loops. So you can do a 3/4, you can do a 1/4, 2/4 reverse, 4 times, 6 times, 8 times. You could also do some forward reverse, so it goes forward first, then reverse, or forward reverse. That's basically a double. Lots of different options. You could also play with the random button and just place random ones here and there, and it will just pick and choose for you what to put in that section. I like to do things a little more manually though, and listen to my hi-hat and then add those effects. Let's do that now. So maybe we can do one of these here. You could just tell that it's just adding more bounce to the hi-hat. Just fire. Now in the FX2 section, you have things like reverb, you have vinyl, you have time freeze, and then you also have phasers. So in this instance, I'm using a phaser and a freeze. Let's go ahead and add some more. We have a reverb, for example. We'll put a reverb there. You could also try some of these vinyls. Let's use vinyl 3. That's definitely dope. Gives it sort of a, a vinyl cut up. And I could hear another vinyl cut maybe here. Maybe do one like this. On the right side here, you actually have volume knobs for each of these effects. So if you don't want those effects that loud, you could turn them down, or you could turn them back up as well. Next to each of these, you also have like a random button. And if you don't like the selection of the random, you could also come up here and just hit undo and go back to what you were using before. Down below, you have the dry and wet mix, which is basically the same as the main mix knob in Effectrix. It allows you to blend the dry signal with the wet signal and find a combination that works for you. So I highly recommend Luperator and Effectrix so far for giving your hi-hats that extra sauce. Next up in the effects chain is halftime. Most of you are probably already very familiar with this plugin. I've been using this plugin since the day it came out, and I basically use it for every project that I have. It's awesome on hi-hats, which I'll show you now. It's also great to use on your loops or your melodies that you're creating. It gives me the sound that I'm looking for. So halftime, definitely awesome tool. And for hi-hats, the way that I set it up to get that triplet sauce is I use the half loop, and then I go into the 1.5x mode. I bring both my fade in and fade out to instant. My mix is at around 68. This you could play with. That's also, again, blending the dry and wet signal from that plugin. Down below, you have your frequency band, so you can, dial in on the frequencies that you want to affect. And over here, you have a smooth knob that basically allows you to smooth out, the effect itself. Let's have a listen to it without it. And let's turn it on. So if you're looking for that triplet flow, definitely recommend the half loop with the 1.5x mode. All right, the last plugin in my effects chain is the Panman. And this is basically a tool that I use to pan my hi-hats left and right. It's a great plugin to automate that process without having you to manipulate so many automation tracks. This plugin basically does the panning for you. Let me pull up the default so that I could show you how you can build the panning for left and right using Panman. The first thing I do is come here and select ping pong. Now, it basically is always going to trigger when that threshold is met. So I take a look at the signal coming in and adjust my trigger you could see it's already panning that hi-hat left and right. Pretty wide right now, so maybe we want to bring the width down a little bit. There's also a smoothing knob here that sort of smooths out the transition between left and right. On the left here, you also have an offset, so you could have it, be more on the right side or more on the left side. I like keeping it in the middle, though. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video today. I really appreciate it. If you can, hit that subscribe button and that bell so you're notified anytime I drop something new. If you're interested in downloading all of my project files anytime I drop a tutorial, consider signing up for my Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and you get access to the trackouts, the Logic project file if you're using Logic. And if you don't use Logic, it's not a problem because I provide you with all the one-shot files and the MIDI of every tutorial that I drop. I'll put a link in the description for that if you're interested in signing up. I'll see you guys in the next video. My name's CJ, and I'm out. Peace.